currently our constitutional republic, right, where we have the First Amendment.
Yeah.
The most powerful companies in the world who determine what is allowed to be uttered, what is allowed to be written, have said the former president of the United States, up until this most recent election, the most popular president of the United States, received more votes than anyone ever, is not allowed to voice his opinions in the town square. Most happy about this ruling, by the way, is this guy. This is so infuriating. You know, when Michelle Obama, people gave her flack because she said when her husband won for the first time, "I'm proud to be an American."
Yeah.
Which is a thing to say. I will say this, and you know what? You guys can comment below and understand what I'm saying here. I still think this is the greatest country in the world. I'm incredibly grateful to have been able to, well, I guess sort of flee back here. I was born in Detroit,
That's true,
but
yeah.
you know, come on, that can be annexed. Lived in Canada and then came back here, of course, by choice. I could have lived in Canada.
Yeah.
But for the first time in my life, I don't feel all that proud of the country right now.
Yeah.
Not saying for the first time I was proud because my direct relative won, or, you know, in Ilhan Omar's case, brother/husband. What I'm saying is, why are we talking about Matt Gaetz's sex trafficking ring? How about your brother's sex trafficking ring, Ilhan Omar? What am I proud of right now in the United States? I'm proud of what we've done. Am I proud of the ability, you know, we're the only constitution that has the First Amendment enshrined? Well, come on. That's not worth the paper it's printed on. Second Amendment, that's under attack. What about our, military, our pride in our military, freedom force, the greatest freedom force, the greatest peacekeeping force that's ever existed? Well, you just saw how woke they're trying to be. Women's pregnancy suits, CIA talking about being intersectional, cisgender. You feel safe? We're talking about fighting one of the bloodiest battles in history to end slavery in the Western world. Well, now we're back to racial division. I don't feel very free right now. When you have the most powerful companies, and it's not just Facebook, it's Twitter, it's YouTube, banning a sitting president in the middle of an election, by the way, then bitching about dark money in politics. Get money out of politics. Oh, really? How much is it worth to just not be banned from the town square?
Yeah.
How do you put a price on that? For everything else, there's your card. That's where we are right now in this country.
Yeah. Well, and you're not even including the bans from Shopify so that you can't conduct commerce.
Oh, well, that's happened with me.
Multiple
times. They didn't even give me a reason, Shopify. Like, we don't like your face. I said, well, be that as it may.
That's a fair point. Bans from hosting sites so you can't even host a website anymore.
Right.
Do you really think that's free, guys? Do you think
Also
it's free when you take away your ability to make a living or to have an idea? And here's what they said. The same people on CNN said if Donald Trump comes out right now and says that the election was fully fair, there was no widespread fraud, and bends the knee, essentially, I'm kind of quoting that last part, then maybe he can be reinstated after a period of time. I'm like, oh, really? So now you have to have the right ideas to have free speech.
Right.
Does this sound familiar to anybody? Does anybody study history at all?
Yeah. And we say that we're free, that there's freedom of speech. Well, you know what? If you don't like it, you can go to some other business. No, at this point, again, we're talking about people who've been the beneficiaries of legal protections for being a utility, for being a public platform. And I just, listen, if anyone out there who says this is a good thing, he shouldn't be allowed to spread his lies, you don't believe in what this country is. You don't believe in the United States of America. Come on. No. Look, I've never once said people need to be banned from every single platform for opinions that I don't like.
Right. Well, you don't understand the principle of free speech. The reason that you have free speech is, one, so your ideas are not suppressed by maybe a majority that doesn't agree with them, and two...
Or white slaveholders, by the way.
Exactly. Or
gun control, infringing on the freedom of the press. Slave patrols. All of these southern states who were still pissed about losing the Civil War, by the way, they tried to implement those policies.
Yeah.
Infringing on a free press, infringing on the Second Amendment. These were specifically designed to target people of color, and they're still doing it today. Sorry.
No, the other side of that coin is that you want these bad ideas to be in public so that you can all point at them and go, that's a terrible idea.
Because we just pointed at Bernie Sanders' campaign and laughed. The Russia collusion hoax and laughed. We never never saw us saying ban these people.
No, you guys were denying.
I don't want them banned.
Yeah, you guys said the Russians hacked the election in 2016 and that Donald Trump was not the rightful president. And you said the big lie for years. We didn't ban you. We just said you were idiots and proved it.
Right.
Because an opinion's not a lie.
No.
Right. Well, they say it's not an opinion because there's no evidence. Well, first off, there's also a difference. Not only an opinion is not a lie, but let's say you get something inaccurate. A misstatement is not a lie.
No.
People believe things that maybe aren't necessarily accurate as well. And I'm not saying this about the election. I'm certain. Look, voter fraud, at the very least, you can say on an individual basis, has of course occurred. You just ask Amy Klobuchar, ask Elizabeth Warren, ask Jimmy Carter, okay? But right now, we all have to walk on pins and needles because YouTube, Facebook, Twitter says you cannot even acknowledge that there may be a legitimate reason for the Maricopa County audit right now. And they are fighting tooth and nail to make sure that it doesn't happen. And by the way, if you search it, you can't find anything right now on Facebook and Twitter outside of hit pieces. Try it.
Yeah.
Try searching it right now. That's where we are. That is where we are. I don't feel, you guys let me know. For the first time in my life, I feel like, I try to not be a doomsdayer. When people are saying that Obama was a Muslim from Kenya, I'm like, nah, things are going to get better.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've gone so far, so fast. Banning if that's not a line in the sand, I don't know what is. Speaking of in this case, former vice presidents, it's time for This Week in Biden.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
I'm going to repeat. We're going to make it easier than ever to get vaccinated. Visit vaccines.gov, or text your zip code to 438829.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
All right, okay, Dave. Dave. I know, it's a layup. Dave.
It's not safe.
Hey, while Dave gets himself together here, hit the share button below. Look, right below this thing right there. Look at that. There's a little. And look at this. It's a rainbow. It's a rainbow
That's
penis.
for you.
And you know what? If you hit that, you can share it on Twitter, on Facebook. We're testing out the YouTube algorithms and seeing right now. By the way, what do you think the over-under is that YouTube changes their live page because 2 of the top 5 are always our stream? I guarantee you at some point they're going to change the algorithm so live is less relevant. So we want to encourage people doing live shows. They say, oh, okay, great. Then the big networks try to do it live, and they say, well, you're not doing very well. We want to discourage people doing live shows.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.